My name is Anthony Bass. I'm originally from St. Albans, West Virginia. I am one of 3 children from William and Priscilla Bass. My mom was a strong believer. I remember around I was 16, 17 years old, she'd wake up every night, every morning about 5:30 and start praying. And I didn't know she was praying, but she hadn't done this before. And I just remember the living room light would just come on every morning at 5:30, and I'd be like, what? You know, what's going on? But she was growing in her faith. God was doing something in her heart. Her spiritual formation really impacted me, and it was probably the only understanding example I had of Jesus Christ in the home. You know, that was kind of what I took with me to college in Daytona Beach, Florida. The school's called Bethune-Cookman University. Eventually, my last year, I am one of the best cornerbacks in the country, but my draft stock kind of fell because I was hurt. I wasn't running the 4.3, 4.4. I wasn't as mobile as I was before, so instead of being a 4th round draft pick, I ended up being a free agent. So I played for the Vikings for 3 years, and it was a great experience. While I was playing for the Vikings, at that time God really started dealing with my heart. Man, at that time I just crammed myself with the Bible, with books, like with writing, like it was just me and the Lord. Eventually, I realized I think I was called into ministry. And once I knew I was called to be a pastor, the chip on my heart, the chip on my shoulder that was really pride in my heart kind of fell off. And I knew a pastor was my calling, and I didn't have that aggression. I made the choice to go back to Virginia Beach to get my Master's of Divinity and Master's of Business Administration. While I was there was a larger church that, for whatever reason, had a position open for a youth pastor. And I think my background of being a former football player was appealing to them. And they knew I was getting my education as well from Regent. And they brought me in as a youth pastor. At that point, there were some bad things that happened in my life that kind of took me way off track. And I thought I was done with ministry. And at that point, I received a phone call from somebody in Minnesota who asked me to come up here and plant a church. And at that time, man, Endurance Church started to kind of like be birthed, for lack of a better term. We struggled with covering partnerships. We had 4 churches that have committed to help us, and 4 churches that have not been able to help us. The 5th church that committed to support us was Grace Fellowship. So when Pastor Dave came in and offered support, we were like, okay, great, is he serious? But then it happened, like it really happened. So the beautiful thing is now all the people who are with us, my wife and my family, and other people who saw the church and not able to kind of follow through on the promises, for lack of a better term, or what they were not in a position to help us, they were able to see now, wow, it happened. Like after now, the 5th church, finally it happened. And that was really encouraging to see other people kind of go along with us on that journey. It wasn't just us, or it wasn't just me. I was able to see God's faithfulness as we remained faithful to Him during the storm. Endurance Church is a church we're trying to reach out to all ethnicities, all races, all creeds. The mantra of the church, or the vision, is live well, finish strong. And for us, living well is having a relationship with Christ and all the things the gospel entails. Not only that moment you're saved, but also how you kind of live your life after you're saved. And finish strong is ultimately, setting your eyes on heaven and the rewards of heaven. We're just facilitators of people's callings, and we think that's the hallmark of endurance. It's not about one person. It's not about a couple. We're not these great super apostles. We're just people on a journey. Like, I love journeys. Like, we're just on a journey. We want people to come journey with us, Like, we don't have all the answers, but we know the one thing, we're not going to give up, and that's the one thing we have. So we hope that there'll be some people who want to journey with us. That's what Endurance Church is.